And we're live. Brad Feller, Sean Wright, Century 21 Wright Realty BS show. And we got our music playing over here with our Screaming Eagle of Freedom. And it's going away. All right.
And it's done.
And it's done. And we're spent. We're done. All right. I got a question for you, Brad. Does technology never work when you need it to work?
It does like to show who can be in charge.
Yeah. Stupid program we used to go live decided it needed to update right as we go live. And now we're red. And we're back to green. All right. So I don't know what the deal is with this thing. It's gone nuts. All right. So we got a little bit of stuff to talk about today. Not a long list, but we got enough to talk about. NCAA championship game tonight. You got Virginia, who really should have got beat against Auburn. Got a string of terrible calls.
Yeah, that was weird. Very weird.
Bruce Pearl should be playing in the national championship game tonight for the Auburn Tigers. They got just royally sandbagged. And we'll talk about Bruce Pearl in about 3 minutes. So, that's our what do they call it? The teaser. All right, but tonight, Virginia versus Texas Tech. I know you're going for Virginia Cavaliers. I'm going to go for Texas Tech, smaller school. Still a Big Five conference, but a smaller school. I don't think they've ever won a national championship in anything. Maybe basket weaving, I don't know. But Virginia has won stuff before. I'm going for Texas Tech.
Virginia.
Yeah. I hope Virginia loses the same way they beat Bruce Pearl.
Yeah, and you know, the way Texas Tech won, I would almost say that Virginia is an underdog. I mean, they questionably shouldn't be there. Texas Tech, no question that they...
No question Texas Tech shouldn't be there.
Virginia may be the underdog, and that's part of my motivation. I like to pull for the underdog. So
good. I think Texas Tech's the underdog because they're not... I mean, Virginia's been number one this year. Texas Tech, I don't remember what seed Texas Tech is. They're 3 or 4 or 5 seeds, something like that. But so I'm going Texas Tech. You're going Virginia. So we'll see who wins. Now to the big topic of the day for college sports fans: Rick Barnes, head coach of the University of Tennessee men's basketball team. Great guy. Does his players on a very Christian-based team. Great individual. Well, guess what? There is a chance that he's leaving the University of Tennessee today for UCLA.
Why we lose people to UCLA all the time?
Well, I was thinking about this morning. I mean, and last night, the story broke last night, and just kind of, at first you're thinking, he's just a candidate that's got no teeth. Then as the night progressed, it was, he'll take the job if he's offered it. Then it was, there's actually been an offer made. He has already interviewed. I mean, and it just kept snowballing.
Yeah.
So then you start breaking down, well, why would this guy leave Tennessee? He's already got an established program. He's already been there 3 or 4 years. He's got he just won National Coach of the Year. He's got a guy going to the draft that may be a top 20 pick in Bone. And you start going, why in the world would this guy leave a program that he's already built to go to UCLA, who's just been a disaster the past 10 or 12 years, 20 years? I think, Ed O'Bannon and Charles O'Bannon, they won a national championship, in the mid-'90s? Yeah. I mean, they haven't done jack squat since then. And then I was listening to Knoxville Sports Radio all morning, and there is so much of a correlation between the UCLA basketball team and the University of Tennessee football team. Think about it. They're both blue bloods. UCLA a blue blood in college basketball, Tennessee a blue blood in college football. They both haven't done really anything since the mid-'90s. They've both had scandals in the past 15, 20 years. They both have went through a carousel of coaches since those scandals arose, and you're going, there's a lot of correlation between Tennessee's football team and UCLA's basketball team. And then when you look at with Barnes, this guy grew up a John Wooden fan.
Yeah.
UCLA is what he thinks about. He wants to. I mean, John Wooden is just the stalwart of men's basketball.
Yeah.
And then you start breaking down more things. And then I hadn't heard any of these stories yet until I was listening to Knoxville Sports Radio. He won Coach of the Year last week. Tennessee didn't even send a delegation up there for him to win his award. They sent some lowling that nobody even know, like an intern. Yeah. All right, intern, go up to Minnesota. He's winning Coach of the Year. Go take a picture with him. Not the athletic director, not an associate athletic director.
That's a pretty big honor.
That's a big honor, and Tennessee didn't honor him in the honor.
Maybe they knew he was already in talks or something.
Well, and what the news is coming out, he was already in talks with UCLA. And so maybe it's, if you're not going to be loyal to us, screw you. Go do your thing.
Yeah.
But then you start, it gets deeper. When Philip Fulmer was hired as AD in his original press conference, he said, I'm here to fix football. Mm-hmm. Well, if you're the men's basketball coach and your boss is now, he's not here to fix you, he's here to fix football. Mm-hmm. Rick Barnes took that as an offense that's now come out.
Yeah.
The guy that hired him, Dave Hart, was a basketball guy, not a football guy, so he was coming to coach for a basketball guy. Mm-hmm. And it just keeps on these little insults, and you start going, this guy's got some pretty light skin.
Yeah.
He can't handle these things, and he very light skinned. So, bringing up Bruce Pearl as a UT basketball coach.
Opening for him.
I asked this question a couple weeks ago after Tennessee got beat by Purdue in the March Madness, and then Auburn won. If you could change it right then, would you rather have Bruce or rather have Barnes? Well, guess what? If Barnes leaves, there's going to be a coaching vacancy. Mm-hmm. Does Philip Fulmer send the Brinks truck down to the Plains and make Bruce turn him down? Because Bruce has been very vocal ever since he got fired from UT that he was all Vol.
Yeah. And you know what you're getting if you hire him.
You know what you're getting. Anyone else. And he is making nothing at Auburn. Yeah. Now, I guarantee that after he made the run at Auburn that he's made, Auburn's prepared to pay him.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're Philip Fulmer and Rick Barnes leaves today or tomorrow or whenever it happens, your first phone call has to be Bruce Pearl.
Oh, yeah. Should be.
Has to be. It's not even shouldn't be. It has to be. If you don't make that phone call, you failed at your job.
Right. I'm sure he probably already has.
Exactly. I mean, if you know that there's a chance that Rick Barnes is going to leave, you've already called Bruce Pearl. Mm-hmm. The guy has professed. I mean, he still donates money in Knoxville. He still does charity work in Knoxville. This guy is all Vol. And he is a basketball coach. I mean, you look at it with Auburn. Rick Barnes and Bruce Pearl have been on the job the same amount of time. Mm. Bruce Pearl took over an Auburn team that was, I mean, they have never been good at basketball since Charles Barkley and Chuck Pearson roamed the court. That's way back. They've not been good at basketball since.
Yeah.
Bruce Pearl took Tennessee to the Elite Eight in 2009 or 2008. Mm. Conzo took Tennessee to the Sweet 16 just 4 or 5 years ago. Mm. Tennessee already had somewhat of a roster built. Mm. Kyle Alexander and Admiral Schofield were already on the team when Rick Barnes came in.
Okay.
He already had some players. So he just we just went to the Sweet 16 this year, so in 4 or 5 years, we're still equal to what we were 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
Bruce Pearl took a team from nothing and put them in the Final Four.
Right. So that says a whole lot.
It says a whole lot. Yeah. And you can guarantee, and look, I don't want to make it sound like I don't like Rick Barnes as a coach. I think he's a great individual, a great man, and a great basketball coach, and I don't really want him to leave. But if he is going to leave, I want that guy as my replacement.
Gotcha.
But you look at all the stuff with Bruce, I was of the idea that you don't even fire him when he got in trouble. That was the best basketball that Tennessee had ever experienced, and I think it would have been worth just taking the NCAA hit, not being good for 2 or 3 years, and then when his problems were over, we'd be right back to what he had us at before. Instead, we went through Conzo, who, I mean, arguably was an okay basketball coach. He took Tennessee to the Sweet 16. Donnie Tyndall was a train wreck, only there 1 year. So let's look at Conzo's 3 years and Donnie Tyndall's 1 year. That's 4 years. Bruce Pearl was only in trouble for 3.
Yeah.
We'd be at the same place or better now with Bruce never getting rid of him than we would have been with Rick Barnes, Donnie Tyndall, and Conzo Martin in a row. Think about it.
Yeah. There you go.
Those players that are playing for Auburn now would have played for Tennessee anyway. He would have recruited the same guys.
Right.
It's my argument. So if Barnes leaves, let's get all the hashtags together. Bring back Bruce. Bring back Bruce. Let's go and start the chant.
There you go. Bring him back.
So if Barnes leaves, Bruce Pearl already should have a phone call from Philip Fulmer asking how big of a Brinks truck needs to be on his front porch.
Right. And if anybody wants to talk in depth about this, give us a call and we'll go deeper.
Yeah, we'll go deeper because I know this is a passionate thing. All right. So next thing on the list, we got to talk about the Relentless Athlete of the Week. If you guys watch SportsCenter or watch ESPN, Century 21 Corporate puts an actual agent on the ESPN. They sponsor a Relentless Athlete of the Week nationwide on ESPN on SportsCenter. We're going to do that locally. Brad Fowler, Sean Wright, the BS show at Century 21 Art Realty. We want to sponsor your middle school or high school athlete locally on the BS show. If they've had a great week of sports, if they've had a great week of classes, send us in something to nominate your player. We're going to do that on our Friday editions of the BS show. We're going to have that Relentless Agent of the Week. And we're going to, or not Relentless Agent, Relentless Athlete Student of the Week. And we want to sponsor that Relentless Student. We want to talk about them on our BS show. It's a great way for you to brag about your kid. It's a great way to get them some exposure. Just let us know, and you can email me at right@realtracks.com, or Brad is
Brad Fowler at realtracks.com.
So just nominate your kid or a friend of your kids or something, and we'll spotlight that one Relentless Athlete of the Week every single week on the Friday edition of the BS show.
Yes, anything that falls under relentless.
Yes.
Academic, community, athletic.
Yeah, anything. Yeah. We want to spotlight them, and we can have them on the show. If you sign a waiver, we can have them on the show. If not, we'll just talk about them. So it's up to you as the parents. If you're a coach and you're watching this, you can also nominate your players. So it's not just on the parents. The coaches, parents, friends of the kids, anybody can nominate that kid, and we'll be glad to sponsor that Relentless Athlete of the Week locally in the Middle Tennessee area. All right, you've got a listing you want to spotlight. Go ahead and talk about it.
Excuse me, yes. 2632 Pebble Creek Lane in Murfreesboro. It's in the Oakland High School zone. 4-bedroom, 3 full bath. Large bonus room that can be used as a 5th bedroom if needed. We've had a lot of showings on it, and it's getting down to crunch time. So if you're looking right now or you know someone that is, have them reach out to me, 615-519-3339. We also have other listings available, but this one is one we're highlighting this week. So all brick, concrete drive, really nice covered back patio. The list goes on. So open floor plan, fireplace. How much time do we have? I can keep going.
Yeah, just keep going. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, just give me a call, 615-519-3339.
All right, and let's talk about the city approving the soccer complex. I thought it was kind of enlightening that the city announced numbers that the soccer complex was losing 6 digits a year. They had always said, yeah, the parks made the soccer complex, the soccer park, and the baseball fields actually made money. They were actually on record last week at the city council meeting saying that the soccer complex did lose 6 figures a year before this new soccer complex. Now they're saying that with this new contract, the soccer fields at Siegel Park will make 6 figures a year, but that doesn't count the new debt.
Yeah. How much new debt?
Now they're saying $15-18 million, and they only got a 5-year lease out of it, not a 10-year lease or 20-year lease originally. So the city's going to get screwed long term because they're going to pick up this 5-year lease, and then they're going to leave, and then we're going to be back to losing megabucks because now we got to pay for the debt on top of something that already lost money. So terrible idea. It shouldn't have ever been passed. Somebody got their pockets lined or something would happen because that should have never happened. It doesn't bring in tourism. It doesn't pay for itself. Terrible idea.
Enough said.
Enough said. All right. Next thing on the agenda, we'll talk about MTSU football. Front page of the DNJ this morning. MTSU's football team did not have a game this season that 10,000 tickets were scanned walking in.
Wow. Out of a
33,000 seat stadium.
Wow.
They didn't have a single game that was a third full.
The ones I went to, it looked like a blue and white scrimmage game or something. It was
went to... were you with us for the Conference USA Championship game? We went to the Conference USA Championship game. There were more UAB fans there than MTSU fans.
Yeah.
And this was after they had just beat UAB the week prior.
Yeah.
So, right. I don't know what it... I mean, I've told my take on what fixes it, but MTSU's got to do something. I mean, it's almost an embarrassment. Mm-hmm. Oakland football draws better than MTSU. And so... I'm not trying to say anything bad about Oakland football. They're fantastic. They're best in the state. But a high school shouldn't outdraw a college, especially when you got 24,000 students, 25,000 students.
And there's 4 high schools.
And there's 4 high schools.
I
yeah.
mean, you know.
So MTSU's got to get it fixed. If this falls on the AD's head, if the AD can't figure out how to get people in the seats, who else is responsible?
Right, because that's usually a huge moneymaker for a university.
Right.
Is the football program. So they fund other programs.
Yeah, usually your football program is how you keep all the Title IX sports afloat. Right. And I'm sure they're making money on these play games, like when they go play Alabama and go play Vanderbilt and all this. But it should mean something to have your own field full. And I was reading the comments on the D&J Facebook page, and people were saying, "Well, the atmosphere's terrible. The game atmosphere's terrible." I mean, we've talked about this stuff on our show. This stuff's easy to fix, but you need butts in the seats.
Right. Yeah, you get a full stadium, the atmosphere
takes care of itself. I don't care if you give 30,000 seats away for free. If you get 30,000 people in the stadium, the atmosphere will be good.
Oh, yeah. Can't help it.
You can't help it. So I'm interested to see, and this happens yearly, when the SEC schools have their spring scrimmage, their orange and white game or their crimson and white game, whatever, their scrimmages draw more than MTSU draws at a game.
The homecoming game.
The homecoming game at that. I mean, how sad of a statement is that? I understand that when you're talking about SEC football, you're talking about blue bloods. But even the small SEC schools that aren't blue bloods draw better for a spring game than MTSU draws at a regular game. Something to think about. All right, 6320 Paper Bart Court in West Lawn Subdivision. We're talking about a new subdivision out here, right beside Veterans Parkway, right off 840. I mean, you're like 2 minutes, you're on 840, Nashville and 25. It's great location. You're at 2,250 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a flex room, so you actually had that possibility of an office or a bonus or an extra bedroom. So you've got that 4th room you could use. It's got wood floors in the common areas, tile in the wets. It's got a covered back patio. It's got a vinyl privacy fence, a huge cul-de-sac lot. I mean, this house has got it all. So 2,250 square foot on one level.
Right.
We're not talking about a 2-story house or a house with a bonus over the garage. All the square footage is on one level. That, I mean, if you're talking about you want to get, you're ready to move down, your knees are going bad, your back's going bad, you can't go upstairs anymore, you don't have to worry about it. This house all on one level. You don't want your kids going upstairs and your bedroom downstairs because your kids scared the kids will push each other down the stairs in a Rubbermaid tub. I saw that video on Facebook today. It's hilarious. This house, you don't have to worry about that. Your kids are on the same floor as you are. So it's got a lot to offer for you. Give us a call. It's got a really upgraded kitchen, too, with built-in appliances.
Cool.
I love built-in appliances myself. I mean, you don't have to worry about the stuff. I mean, it just looks cleaner.
Right.
So
and just so clear, how many levels?
One level.
One level. Okay.
One level.
I forgot it.
West Murfreesboro, too. I mean, West Murfreesboro, Blackman area. Fantastic. Yeah. All right, give us a call. We just dropped the price. $333,250. It was $334,900. So we just dropped the price. It's ready to go. It's ready for you to call it home right in time for springtime. Use that covered back patio. Start grilling them burgers. We'll come over and grill burgers for them, won't we? Go. Absolutely.
I'm coming.
You're coming to grill burgers. All right, we got.
No, I'm coming to eat.
Oh, you're coming to eat.
I'll cook.
I'll cook. I don't care. All right. So news you can't believe. This one's funny. I'm already laughing. You actually, I think you spit your drink out when I told you about it earlier. When you talk about irony, irony's funny. A man is in South Africa. He's out on the thing going to hunt big game. And he's out in the weeds getting his big shotgun ready or big rifle ready. And a elephant tramples him. But that's not the funny part. That he wasn't dead after the elephant trampled him. The pack of lions that he was actually trying to hunt ate him. The only thing left was his skull.
Oh, Sean.
Yeah.
How funny is it that this guy goes out, he goes, I'm going to catch big game, I'm going to shoot a big lion. And the lions ate him.
Nature in reverse.
Nature in reverse.
Oh,
you always see, like, Family Guy had a thing where Peter Griffin was out like he was going to deer hunt and ended up with the deers all the way around him and like with bats and stuff, beat him up. This is this. It's real life.
Absolutely.
And it's funny that you think about it. Usually you would think that the lions would grope up and attack the elephant. But the elephant was like, you know what? You're trying to hunt my friends. You're going down.
Exactly.
So of like the snake.
The snakes. The animals are coming after us.
That's right. Look out.
Look out! The animals are coming after the humans. But I thought that was. I mean, how terrible is it that I laughed at this guy getting eaten by a pack of lions?
Yeah.
You laughed too.
Yeah. It's weird
laughed.
to think that's funny, but the irony.
The irony is always funny.
Right.
So, I mean, thank you, God. I apologize for laughing at the guy getting eaten by the lion, but it's funny. So, that's the BS show of the day. We want to spotlight your relentless athlete, middle school, high school, maybe even college. Hey, we'll spotlight them. Tell us about them. Like Brad said, it doesn't have to be athletic. Grades, community service, athletics. If you got a relentless athlete that's local, tell us about them. We'll sponsor them on the show on Fridays. We'll nominate them. Any other questions, real estate needs, give us a call, 615-895-9710, 615-895-9710. Thank you.